national anthem.
Good evening, everyone from all over the world. Welcome to Beyond the Conference, a series of webinars originally planned as workshops at the District 61 Conference. Tonight's webinar presenter, Kevin Chapman, won second place in the 2019 International Speech Contest for District 61. He won the second place trophy and won first place in people's hearts. Received spontaneous standing ovation as he finished his speech and another standing ovation the next day when he walked on stage to receive his trophy. Kevin Chapman loves public speaking, but it wasn't always that way. There was a time when he was terrified to talk. He realizes many people have the same trouble controlling that fear. So tonight, Kevin's going to share with you some motivating, inspirational tips on how to control your fear and nervousness in front of an audience. Please help me welcome, with your jazz hands and your applause, Kevin Chapman. Yay!
Thank you so much for the nice introduction. Hi, Mom. Mom, I am conducting a workshop on how to control fear and nervousness in front of an audience. Mom, of course I'm nervous. At the same time, I am so excited. Mom, I'm going to learn myself today. Mom, I will be eternally grateful to Toastmasters for this opportunity forever. Hi, everyone. My mom on the phone. Everyone, that's one way to control your fear, is that what I did is that I brought my toaster because I want to be a really good Toastmaster. So I want to make some really good toast. Pop, pop. It's not working. In other words, what I just did is that I just broke the ice. Can someone here tell me where you might have to speak outside of Toastmasters? Can someone tell me one?
At church, Kevin.
At church. So many people at church, they believe in what you believe, and they are so inspired by you. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Anyone else?
Conferences.
At work. So you have to conduct a seminar. Your coworkers, management, they're admiring the way that you can speak. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I have one. You're at a birthday party, your own birthday party, and you hear the famous words, speech, speech. Now, most people would hide underneath the table. Not you. You stand up with confidence and say, I have had a lot of birthdays. I mean, a real lot of birthdays. So many birthdays that I have more fun celebrating other people's birthdays. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, today, I'm going to give you some tips on how to control your fear up here on stage. Some tips is how to be on stage, or how not to feel inferior up here on stage, or how to prepare yourself beforehand in order to control your fear from an audience. One thing I can think of is finding your comfort zone. I think it's right here, this spot. No, perhaps this spot right here. Are you kidding? Hey, Kevin, how about this spot right here? That's perfect. I think for most people, their comfort zone is right here with the audience. I am comfortable sitting right here, and that person on stage, they can do all of the talking. I'm comfortable right here. I ask you, why do you think so many people are so afraid of public speaking? One thing I can think of is non-approval. May I please have a volunteer, preferably someone that loves me? I'm going to pick someone. Claire. So Claire is my volunteer. So now, if we were in a regular room, I would walk up to Claire and I would say, this is my comfort zone. The audience is your comfort zone. Toastmasters, all we have in this world is each other. You want to motivate, inspire the audience. May I please have a timer? I have a timer. So right now, what I would do is I would walk to the timer and I would say, I want to motivate, inspire this person. The audience is your inspiration. In this world, in all areas of speaking, the audience, they are there for you. They are listening to you. My evaluator, I would now, in a regular room, stand beside my evaluator. I would say, is there anything more rewarding at Toastmasters than your evaluator being so proud of you? When we pass on, we leave behind our house, our car, our wallet, and our memories. Don't you want those memories to be wonderful? Yes, you want to love the audience. One of my mentors, Nancy McWaters, once told me, Kevin, you cannot speak at the audience, you have to speak with the audience. So true. In a regular room at Toastmasters, the person that you're sitting beside, there's potential for closeness, for bonding. Now, as a tip, as a speaker up here on stage, I'm not too far away from the audience, about 10 feet. So when you're up here on stage, pretend that you're sitting beside each audience member. And when you use eye contact, just don't use it as a speaker's checklist. Look at each audience member as if you really care for them. Toastmasters, is there anyone here that belongs to more than 12 clubs? Not 12, we'll start with one. Anyone here belong with more than one club?
Yes.
I'll take advantage of that. Speak at both clubs. Practice makes perfect. Although it's not so important where you speak, what's important is how you connect to the audience. Because if you're not connecting to the audience, and basically up here on stage, you're wasting your time. My next point, just be yourself. So I feel that this point's important. I want to sit down here with you. So what does that mean? Just be yourself. I mean, who is yourself? What is yourself? What does that mean? I sometimes think that certain people will make labels and judgments on a specific person. Then that person thinks that that is the person that they are. And that is so far from the truth. So I was thinking this, why not create your own persona on stage? Create your own self-image. On stage, up here, pretend that you're this beautiful, kind, wonderful, funny person. I mean, what do you have to lose? A mental blueprint picture of yourself right down to the last detail. The greatest investment that you can ever make in this world is in yourself. I sometimes think that we are our true selves when we're with family, our parents, or our children. And I truly believe that that is the person that needs to be on this stage here. I need your help. Can someone tell me something that they've accomplished? Anything. An example, running a marathon.
I accomplished CC manual level 1.
All those speeches that you presented, again, that's you. Tell what you know from your speeches. Say that here on stage. Can someone tell me something that they believe is really funny? A funny show or anything? How about this? A talking horse. Is there anything funnier on TV than a talking horse? I'm just teasing. Again, things that you find that are funny at work, you experience that. That is you. Can someone tell me something that they truly believe in, something that they feel passionate about? An example would be global warming. Again, say that here on stage. That's you. Now, myself, I've made a career at Toastmasters and being a clown. Really, I have. In fact, my favorite role at Toastmasters is the joke. Here's an example. The other day, I went to Starbucks and the cashier said, "Are you going to pay for that coffee?" I said, "No, probably not, but thanks for asking." I work at a hotel. Once I was at the front desk. A guest came up to me and said, "Kevin, my key, it doesn't work. Make me a new one." I made him one. I gave it to him. He then said, "Kevin, is this key, is it going to work now?" I said, "No, probably not. I imagine you'll be back here in a couple of minutes." That was in my immature days, so long ago. But Toastmasters, that's me. That's who I am. I can't change, but I need to accept and love that person. If you really want to play it safe, the magic word is called authentic. The definition of authentic is undisputed origin, the truth. I am quite certain that if you just come up here and tell the truth as things are, that you will be in so much more in control of your fear in front of an audience. So many people, they're so afraid to bore an audience. I truly believe that there is no such thing as a boring person or a boring topic. Can I have a volunteer? Anyone, shout out your name.
Mathematics is boring subject.
Boring subjects?
Yes.
So Claire, your eyes, your hair, your personality is different than anyone else in this world. And that's fascinating. Claire, don't you think that you can come up here on stage and have enough heart, enough passion to talk about anything? May I please have another volunteer? I'm gonna pick Bernice. So the same thing, your eyes, your hair, your personality is different than anyone else in this room, and that's amazing. Anyone, do you really think that you're more boring than anyone else in this room? Because you're not. Everyone has something to offer. Anyone here think that they're more interesting than everyone in this room? Because if you are, please, you can do the workshop for me. You know what makes me click, what makes me go, is the Miami Dolphins football team. Anyone here like the Miami Dolphins?
Yay!
Yes.
Not too many people, because they don't win any Super Bowls. Now, does that make me a boring person? No. One of my mentors, France Vezina, taught me that, Kevin, by using gestures and vocal variety, it will help you make you sound more expressive, more animated. I have an example for you. Did man really land on the moon? I mean, really? I don't think so. That's an example of being more expressive. Toastmaster, you spend 16 hours a day with yourself. Don't you think in those 16 hours something fascinating, interesting, funny happens to you? When it does, keep a Toastmaster journal, jot it down, and say that here on stage. Anyone here like to go to movies by themselves, like I do? Many people? So
Occasionally.
So that means that myself, that if you like to go to movies by yourself, then that must mean that you must think that you're pretty good company yourself. So I was thinking as a a real morale booster, say this to yourself at the end of the night at your doorstep. Tonight, I really had a good time tonight. I had fun. Really, we should do this again sometime. It's a real morale booster. How not to feel inferior up here on stage. So many people are so afraid to come up here and fail on stage. Everyone, I have news for you, and it applies to every single person in the world, and I will say this as politely as possible. All of us, really, we're not that important. When people tell me, Kevin, I can't fail, I can't fail, I can't fail, I say, and you are who? Everyone, all of us, it's time to get over ourselves. If you truly believe that in your inner self, that you have failed, then yes, you have failed. Never, ever regret anything that you've done in the past. Embrace it as a teacher. My favorite author, Robin Sharma. The word failure, why does that word exist? Why is that word in the dictionary? According to what? According to who? Once, my mom said to my sister, Kim, I cannot believe that you failed that test. My sister said, Mom, I did not fail. I just got more wrong answers than right answers. So funny, so true. Mom, I still learned something. It's the same thing here at Toastmasters. No matter how badly you think that you performed up here on stage, you are still learning something. I had a friend once who could get so many dates. I mean, a real lot of dates. Whereas I had trouble getting dates. So I asked him, how do you do it? How do you get so many dates? He said, Kevin, I'm just a guy like you. I said, no, 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 no. You ask any Toastmaster, they'll tell you how weird I am. He said, Kevin, nonsense. When we go out, Kevin, you go 0 for 0, and I go 1 for 10. Kevin, I fail 90% of the time, but I don't care. I move on. Kevin, going 0 for 0, not trying, that's failing. It's the same thing here, not coming up here and not presenting a speech. That's failing. My club coach, my friend, Greg Sr., told me in 1999 that the Toastmaster program, agenda, it's not set up for failure. Toastmasters is about constructive criticism, positive feedback. Hey, you're good. This is how you can be even better. Everyone, don't be afraid to fail up here on stage. All of us, we are on the same team. We are up here. We are cheering for you. Now, there might be one exception where I might understand where you're afraid to fail in front of an audience. And that is, there's someone in the audience that you have a crush on. And you know, I'm totally, completely just joking. But yes, there's someone in the audience that you have a crush on. My next point, I forget. What was it? I can't remember. What was I gonna say? I bet right now, if someone were to give me $900 to remember, I still wouldn't remember. So, you know what I'm saying. I just made a mistake, which is my next point. Do not sweat the mistakes. It happens. Nobody is perfect. I am quite certain that the best speakers in the world, every time that they present a speech up here on stage, they make a mistake. They might lose their train of thought or mispronounce a word, a run-on sentence. It could be anything. You know what my favorite saying is? When someone really panics, I tell them, don't worry, have a sandwich. Kevin, put. That's with lettuce, pickles, tomatoes, and onions. Have a sandwich. When someone tells me that they tell me that I have made a mistake, you know what I tell them? Thank you. Now, can I finish my tea? Kevin, I have a biscuit. I estimate that there's about 1.4 billion people in China. Do you think that they care that you made a mistake up here on stage? No. In 100 years from now, will it really matter that you made a mistake up here on stage? No. See, the beauty of Toastmasters is that all kinds of people from all kinds of different cultures come in this room to learn and help their communication skills. And all kinds of different people from all over the world come in this room to learn perhaps a second language. And all kinds of different people from all kinds of different professions who perhaps think that they're shy or lack self-confidence come in this room to improve their speaking skills. And every single person in this room, when you're up here on stage, all of you are equal. Every single person in this room are equal. No one is better than you are. If anyone in life bothers you that you've made a mistake or they generally bully you, you tell them this for me. Can everyone read it?
You should.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should take a course at Algonquin College.
You should take courses at
Called? Complete self-importance.
completely self-important. Yes, I am sure. Do not ever have to study.
I'm sure you would get straight A's.
You get straight A. Total self release. Total.
Self-worshiping.
Sorry, I couldn't see.
That's all right. Toastmasters, we need to learn to laugh at our mistakes. Can someone here tell me a mistake that they've made at Toastmasters? Anyone?
I mispronounce names.
I am so afraid of that. And especially when I'm the Toastmaster, everyone has done that. And yet you're still here. Anyone else?
I didn't join when I was 18 years old.
What about when you were 19?
Yeah, I was in my 30s.
How about this one? You evaluate the wrong speaker. Anyone else?
I wish I had had this when I was working my full-time job in Toronto.
Exactly. But it's never too late. And yet all of us are still here. Nobody is perfect. You might not know it, but your self-confidence has a lot to do in controlling your fear up here on stage. Everyone, I have good news for you. Up here on stage, you don't need any self-confidence. You can fake, you can pretend that you have self-confidence up here on stage. We will never know. And even if we do know, if you're polite to us, if you're nice to us, we won't tell anyone. Who knows, after coming up here and faking you have self-confidence so many times, you might actually start to develop some self-confidence. Now, you're only up here for 5 to 7 minutes. Don't you think that you can have self-confidence for 7 minutes? Yes. Now, the audience doesn't really care what you do in life. What they care about is what you present in those 7 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, an engineer, or a doctor. What we care about is what's in those 7 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're the best athlete in high school or you're the class valedictorian or class president. What we care about is what you present in those 7 minutes. You know why? Because you're worth it. Everyone has something to offer. Now, you might not like your general appearance. You might think, I'm overweight. I don't like my look, so look at my nose. Again, Toastmasters, we don't care much about your appearance. What we care about is what you present in those 7 minutes. Once I thought, I was so ugly, and you'll never guess why. My receding hairline, to the point that I went to a hair doctor. And when I saw the hair doctor, I was so shocked. The hair doctor had no hair. How's that possible? I even asked him, how did you ever pass the job interview? He laughed. He said, Kevin, it's the inside that counts, your heart, not the outside. Can you imagine how bad this would look if you came up here on stage and you lacked self-confidence? Here's an example. I'm sitting here. Oh, no, don't call my name. I don't want to go up there. No. Kevin Chapman. What did I sign up for? I'm going to bomb this speech. That would look awful. No, there's such thing as having too much self-confidence. Here's how that would look. Again, I'm sitting here. Come on. Call the name. I'm ready. Kevin Chapman. Oh, baby, yeah. This speech, I'm going to knock right out of the park. Someone up here that can really speak. That would look even worse. Instead, come up here on stage, well-dressed, well-groomed, in time, firm handshake. For now, elbow rub. Beautiful smile. Great posture. Hey, if you look confident and if you act confident, you will be confident. One of my favorite sayings is from Saturday Night Live. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. You should say something like that in the mirror each morning. A confidence booster. In fact, right now, I'm actually in front of a mirror. And if you like, because I'm going to say it again, you can join me. It will show self-confidence. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. I have the confidence to say that to a stranger at a bus stop. I'm going to. Excuse me. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me. Okay, buddy. I'm sure they do. Good for you. Maybe not, but I think you know what I mean. How to control your fear and nervousness beforehand. One thing I can think of is the famous R word, which is rehearse. Now, there are other famous R words, which are research, remember, rehearse, and repeat. Yes, research your topic extensively. Not only will you sound credible, but incredible. I like that. Yes, memorize your speech. Every word, every line, every syllable, how you're going to say it, where you're going to say it, even to who you're going to say it. Don't you think that you'd be in so much more in control of your fear in front of an audience if you had your speech memorized like the back of your hand? Yes. Now, once I rehearsed a speech 400 times right here in this living room in front of my cat, Beans. Now, my cat, Beans, passed away last year. And I am pretty sure that's what killed Beans. Now, my new cat, Howard, he listens. He's listening there on the couch. Howard, he thinks that I'm speaking to him right now. Howard thinks that he's part of the audience. Well, maybe. Basically, the point here is that whenever you rehearse, pretend that you're talking in front of an audience. Can anyone tell me where they rehearse their speech? Can anyone tell me?
Yes, I rehearse my speech.
Where do you rehearse your speech? At home?
Kitchen?
Fishing?
No, kitchen.
Kitchen? And your family hasn't abandoned you yet? Rehearsing at home? I'm just teasing. That's a great place to rehearse. You have all the room. Anyone else?
I go running.
I'm sorry?
I said I go running and practice the speech.
You should do that in a race, actually. Right at the finish line. It will take your mind off. It will develop endorphins. You know, everyone, that you can rehearse on your cell phone? In fact, you can even do it in public. People will just think that you are talking to someone. In fact, you're going to sound smart. Here's an example. A limestone. It is a type of sedimentary rock. I told you. Anyone here repeated a speech? Perhaps your icebreaker speech. Has anyone done that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed that the second, third, and fourth time after being evaluated, you're so much more in control of your fear?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe so. I do. Dreaming, imagination. I truly believe that our society is so successful is because we can dream and think of anything in our mind. In fact, in my tiny little brain here, I can picture myself doing anything. Dreaming is planning. Knowledge has limits. Everything that has been accomplished in this world at one time was a dream. Wayne Gretzky once, if you can believe, was a prospect. Why cheat yourself? Why come up here and pretend that you're this ill-confident, shy person when really you don't have to? Toastmasters, has anyone here ever danced throughout a whole entire Toastmaster speech like I have? Am I the only crazy one here?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I figured, do it, get it down, write it. So what I did is every single day I pictured myself dancing in front of an audience, and I even pictured what the audience would look like. And they'll think, oh, that Kevin, he's totally crazy. That's just Kevin. But then I started thinking positive thoughts like, they're going to think I'm funny. Well, Kevin actually has a point to make, and I did this every single day. And when it came time to actually present my dancing speech, I was so much more in control of my fear because I had practiced it in my mind so many times. Toastmasters, can you imagine this? At one time, none of us had our CTM. Not one of us had presented one speech. And now, among us, so many people with pathways in their CTM and DTM, and every speech you had to visualize, you had to prepare, and now here you are. Can you imagine this? All of us at one time, we joined Toastmasters to improve our speaking skills, and everyone here right now obviously did improve because you took each role and you imagined and you dreamed it. I speak to you directly, to the district council, whoever's with the district council. Could you imagine 5 or 10 or 15 years ago that you would have the position that you had? But each role, each task, each assignment that you completed, you visioned, you planned, and now you have this role, Toastmasters. Can you believe that at one time, none of us were Toastmasters, and yet we are all here? I truly believe that you can create your own miracle if you do some extra hard work, energy into your dream. You can make your dream from improbable to inevitable. Toastmasters is fun. Public speaking is fun. You have an opportunity to share yourself with us. I ask you, anyone, what do you do a day before a speech? Because you're supposed to have fun. Anyone?
Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse.
Or you're supposed to say it 5 times. But yes, rehearse, 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 which means that you rehearse at least 3 times. And if you do anything 3 times, well, that must mean that you like it, that you enjoy it. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Anyone else?
Rehearsals 4 times.
I'm sorry?
Rehearsal 4 times before.
Oh, we're a competition here, 3 times, 4 times. Well, that shows again that you care about Toastmasters. If you're rehearsing the day before a speech, it shows that you care about the program. The day that you present your speech, come in early, get familiar with your surroundings, the stage. Also, talk to other Toastmasters. Ask them how they are. Show that you care for them. Also, have a song in your head. Be happy. And you can always break the ice with some jokes. Here's an example. Excuse me, Johnny, I have to speak. Can you do my speech for me? Yeah, it's a restaurant menu, so all you have to do is just read it. Yeah, everything's in here, even the conclusion, which is dessert. You don't have to worry about leaving a tip. I'm leaving 0.00001%. In other words, 1 penny. Wendy, you're going to be really mad at me today. My speech today, it's not scary. But I promise you, next week, it'll be scary. SCTV, Count Floyd. Anyone remember that? So long ago. Everyone who's with me here, have you noticed that outside of this room, it's so easy to talk about yourself for 5 to 7 minutes, and it's so much fun, but yet you're polite. Well, here at Toastmasters, you are on air, you're on stage, it is your moment, and we get to listen to you, and we are not allowed to interrupt you. In other words, the floor is all yours. And who's with me here for 5 to 7 minutes? It would be so easy to talk about something that you feel so passionate about, like the Miami Dolphins football team, but you don't. You stay mild manner. Well, here at Toastmasters, you are the sunshine. You're the shining star. You're the glamour. And we get to evaluate you and give you feedback. Again, the floor is all yours. And who's with me here? It'd be so easy to get something off your chest. It'd be so fun to tell that person for 7 minutes. Oh, so much fun. That Donald Trump. But you restrain yourself. Well, here at Toastmasters, there's no restraining order. Come on down. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right. After all, you have paid for it. You have signed up for it. You might as well have some fun. Again, the floor is all yours. Martin Luther King, Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, Oprah Winfrey have changed people's lives through public speaking. And all of us, myself, we can do the same. That is fun. That will control your fear. Back to my toaster. See, this toaster needs 3 things. And the first one, as I mentioned, is that you have to try and motivate, inspire the audience. Actually, not try, you just want to. That will control your fear. And secondly, the toaster. You need a happy, smiley face. You want to brighten up someone's day. Put a smile on their face. Make them laugh. That's fun. That will control your fear. And finally, I put in X's and O's, hugs and kisses. You need love. You need to love yourself in order to control your fear. And that is fun. Because if you can love yourself, that means that you can love the audience. And the audience, they, in turn, they will love you. And to me, that is such a beautiful, beautiful circle. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we have
Yay, Kevin!
Woo, that was great.
Thanks.